what's up? Good morning and welcome back to Kuala Lumpur once again. In this video I'm going to be showing you how expensive things are here in the city. So I'm going to be breaking down my expenses for the day on accommodation, food and everything that I do, and also show you some of the prices that you can expect to find in the city. So in this video I'm going to be using pounds as my currency as I'm from the UK, but you can roughly get an idea of how much this would convert into euros or US dollars or whatever it is your currency is. So I am going to show you what £1 is. £1 equals to 5.41 Malaysian ringgit. For £5 you can get 27.07 ringgit. £10 is 54.15 ringgit. £50 270.79 ringgit, and £100 541.58 ringgit. So to begin with, I'll start with my accommodation. Where have I been staying in Kuala Lumpur? It's pretty much always been in this same hostel, dorms KL2. I found it's the best hostel I've stayed in Kuala Lumpur for value. It's really modern, there's good Wi-Fi, which is good for me, I can do my work, and it's spacious and it's very clean, which is also of course important. So I've stayed in numerous hostels, as Kuala Lumpur has been sort of my home base from traveling to different places in Malaysia, and then I come back here and do my editing and then, you know, just rest for a couple of days before I head to the next place. So I have experienced a few hostels here, and this one comes to just 30 ringgit a night. That's really good value, amazing for what you get. You can stay here for a long time. Obviously it's not going to break your bank if you're a long-term traveler or if you're just coming here for a short trip too. So moving on now, I'm about to head and get my breakfast. There is this one guy I usually go to every morning to get this kind of fruit haul. He sells all kinds of fruit. I covered it in my Kuala Lumpur food rampage video. So I'm going there now and yeah, I'll show you how much it comes to. Alright, so papaya, mango, some watermelon, and one banana. And in total that comes to just 6 ringgit. Thank you very much. Cheers. So just 6 ringgit for all that fruit, pretty good deal, and it does fill me up for the morning until I hit my lunch. You know, you're always eating a lot of fried foods here in Malaysia, a lot of oil, and so I try and avoid it at breakfast time because usually my lunch and dinner is packed with oil. So I try and go for a healthy breakfast, some fruit just to keep me going, get some nice vitamin C in there. Alright, so now I'm heading towards a supermarket to give you an idea of how much things cost generally in terms of, you know, drink prices and the normal things you can expect to find in the supermarket, and show you what it's like. I mean, in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur is the most expensive place in the country, I think it's fair to say, and so the prices here might be slightly more than if you were, say, you know, in Bahau where I stayed with the Malaysian family, or if you go outside into any sort of town or city like Ipoh, or even if you go to Penang or Malacca, it's going to be cheaper. So let's go inside now and I'll show you what the prices are of some of the normal everyday things you can expect to find. 2 ringgit for a 2-litre bottle of water. Soft drinks, 2 ringgit for soya bean milk. All of these ones roughly 3 ringgit. All different types of coffee, just under 3 ringgit. If you want to stay in and you don't want to eat out, then you can buy some noodles, really easy to use with just boiled water. 1 ringgit 80. Up here, all these ones, 2.50. Just 2 ringgit 75 for a loaf of bread. Small shampoo you can buy just for traveling, 6.20. This one, 5.25. 2.60 for an individual toilet roll. Snickers, 3.50. Mars, 3.50. All the different packets of crisps, roughly 4 ringgit. This one just over, this one just under. So generally speaking, all the things that you would need as a traveller to top up on, and all the small basic things are roughly £1 to £2 really, and sometimes less than £1. And on top of that, I think if you want to buy any vegetables or fruit to do your own cooking or just for a snack, then I recommend that you just get them from local places, local markets, because they're going to be the cheapest and freshest in those areas, and they're everywhere in Malaysia, especially if you head outside of KL. Probably a little bit harder to find in KL, but they're still there. Now going for some lunch. Thank you. So there are many places in KL where it's really cheap to eat your lunch or dinner if you just have some plain rice, which they'll give you. And then you can choose whatever dishes you want to put on top, and at the end of it they'll give you a price. So this one I've got here has come to 12 ringgit. I've got this pineapple vegetable dish and this one with tofu and a kind of curry sauce. Water is 1 ringgit 50. All over KL and Malaysia, especially when you go outside of KL, you'll see stalls where you can eat pretty much all Malaysian food, just like this one here, where they cook it outside and you sit on sort of deck chairs with a little table outside, and usually they serve everything pretty much. Nasi goreng, Maggi goreng, TEOW goreng, laksa soup, they do nasi lemak, all the different types of fried stuff and soups. It's just, there's a lot. And so usually it costs just roughly 10 ringgit. Yeah, it's normally no more than 15 ringgit for your meal. It'll be an expensive meal if it's more than that. And so you're rarely paying more than a couple of pounds for anything if you eat super locally. If you go into all the restaurants, then of course your prices are then going to go up. So decide what you want. As for attractions and things to do in Kuala Lumpur specifically, you can go and visit the Petronas Towers, KLCC Park, Jalan Ulor, Night Market, Bukit Bintang, Chinatown. All of it's free. Even the Batu Caves is free to enter. So you don't actually have to pay for any of that stuff, unless you want to go to the top of the Petronas Towers, and any food that you want to try you're going to have to pay for. Transport around the city is really easy and really convenient. There's bus services that are free, and there's also the metro, which is never going to cost you more than a couple ringgit, not even a pound. So it's really easy and convenient to get around the city on top of that. And to take a shuttle bus from the airport, a nice air-conditioned coach, is only like, again, something like 5 ringgit or less. I can't quite remember because it was a long time ago when I took that trip. On top of that, from Kuala Lumpur, getting around the country is very easy. Luckily I've had Raina with me a lot of the time. She's been driving me around everywhere in her car, so I haven't paid for much in terms of transportation. However, I did take a bus up to Georgetown, Penang Island, and that cost me 27 ringgit from Kuala Lumpur, and it was a really nice AC bus. I could even charge my phone, plenty of leg room, stopped on the way, nice developed roads, something like 4 lanes, really amazing. And I think Malaysia is the gem of Southeast Asia in terms of it's so developed and very modern in a lot of areas, but also very cheap, and you'll find the same kind of price as you would in Thailand and Vietnam. And in fact, it might be a little bit more expensive here, but it's roughly in the same bracket, and it's not too much of a upward step like Singapore, for example. What's up? It's now evening time. I'm still in KL, of course, and I'm about to head out for some dinner at a place called a mamak, which is one of those stall type of places which are all set outside, which you see all over Kuala Lumpur and Malaysia. Something I didn't mention earlier about transportation within KL is that it's really useful to take something called Grab, which is essentially Asia's version of Uber. I'm not sure how many countries in Asia it's in, but it's in the main cities here in Malaysia, and of course in the capital Kuala Lumpur. Grabs are really cheap. Usually it costs you between 15 to 25 ringgit to go wherever you want to go within the city. As soon as you kind of leave KL, that price really starts to go up. I think to get to the airport it costs you about 60 ringgit because KL airport is quite far outside of KL. So yeah, Grab's a really good way to go for transportation. Okay, on my way towards the food now. Now sitting inside this nice little place. Let me show you the menu here, and the prices are very typical of Malaysia mamak style places. Fresh juices, carrot 350, banana milkshake 350, watermelon juice 350. I'm gonna go with this one. Moving on to the food, fried rice dishes, all within 750 ringgit. Normal fried rice, just $4.20. Tom yam, one of my favorites, $6. Bihun, only $4.20 again. TEOW KUNGFU seafood, $7.50. Spicy chicken, $6.80. Soup, $9.50 for oxtail. TEOW soup, only $6. Indian food, you can get paratha for $2.50. Fried noodles, $7.50, $6 for ginger. So to drink, I've got watermelon juice, just $3.50, that's less than £1. For food, I have TEOW KUNGFU, just $7.50 here for noodles with fried egg and this kind of savoury soup and some vegetables. So having just finished my dinner, I can now add up my total cost for all today's expenses, which comes to 60 ringgit 50, which is £11.17 in total. So as you can see there, £11.17 for my breakfast, my lunch, my dinner, and my accommodation. Extremely cheap. You can imagine, of course, that if you added on some extra food for snacks and some different attractions and maybe a cheap grab ride or a cheap metro ride to get to where you need to go, it's going to be £15 tops. You can really budget here in Kuala Lumpur, and the great thing about Malaysia is that it's still comfortable. So hope this gave you a good idea about how you can budget and how expensive things are. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, this is my final video from this trip in Malaysia. Tomorrow morning I'm catching a flight to my next country. Stay tuned to see where it's going to be. Thank you very much for watching. Peace.